What is up, my fellow gamers? In today's video, we got our best guide for the artifacts in the King of Fighters AFK. Like and sub for more amazing gaming content. We also got some coupon codes that I had missed. One of our lovely viewers had posted the codes in the comment section of the last video. 7 codes in total. They give us 400,000 rubies. Look at my rubies right now. I got 500,000 rubies because of those codes. So huge thanks to the person who commented that below. I'll put the codes on the screen so you can see them. Feel free to pause the video and enter those codes. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're seeing a completely different layout on the screen, so I'll address this real quick before we go into our artifact guide. We are playing on computer, PC, and we are using an emulator. In order to play this game, you need an emulator. There is no dedicated version for PC, so you can download either BlueStacks emulator or LD Player emulator, and then you can run the game through that. This is also the horizontal view. Again, this is only available on emulator on your PC. If you're playing on mobile devices, you will still have the vertical format. I don't know how I like this. What do you think? Do you like this horizontal layout? Let me know down below in the comments if I should keep it like this, or do you like me to just keep it in the vertical format? So we also had a viewer who asked about the artifacts, the artifact haul. They were kind of questioning, you know, are artifacts really good? Am I missing something? I don't understand. So we're going to head on over here to the artifact haul, and I'm going to explain to you how this works. Now, you can actually get a lot of stat increases from the artifacts, but you have to understand how it works and you got to do it right. So each artifact, you're actually going to need a specific type of material in order to go ahead and roll for stats on that artifact. Now, the first thing you want to do is once you go ahead and you unlock one of these, we're going to go ahead, we're going to click on it. You're going to see these little nodes on here. There's going to be this little like diamond icon one, and then there's going to be stars. The first thing to do is just engrave all. So do not worry about what you get. The very first most important thing is we just want to at least have all of your slots with something, right? So just fill something in. So engrave all, just fill all these slots in. Don't leave them blank. Something is better than nothing. Once you have all of your slots filled in for all of them, like do this with all of them, make sure they're all filled in. Then when you have extras, now you can get picky, and now we can kind of look for specific stats and specific rarities. So after everything's filled in, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to specifically re-roll the star ones. So see these little star nodes? These are the ones that you're going to want to engrave selected right here. You're going to click this to re-roll the stat. Now, if we click this little percentage icon right here, there is 2 different drop rates for the different rarities that we could get. So the master cube is going to be the star. So see this little star icon? That is the master cube. So we can get an S, epic, a prime, unique, or a legendary. Obviously, we want to try and get the legendary. You can see the drop rate right here, 1.5%. The legendary is the highest, and it is going to give you the biggest increase to a specific stat, whatever stat that it rolls. But the important thing to note is whether you roll a unique or a legendary, what it does is it actually goes ahead and it will buff the smaller nodes rarity to the next highest rarity. So that is important, and that is why we want to do the stars first. You want to at least re-roll these stars until you get them to the rarity of either a unique or a legendary. And what that's going to do is it's going to buff and increase the rarity of the other smaller nodes that it is connected to. So let me go ahead to the Grimmer book, because this one is a perfect example. I have this one almost maxed out in legendaries. This is probably my best artifact. You can see how it is glowing like crazy in this red color. We take a look right here at this This is the star. You can see I have a legendary on this. Crit Resistance Master Cubic. So because it is a legendary, it is actually going ahead and you can see that it is buffing the 3 that it is connected to. So these 3 right here are getting buffed because of this. We can see that we actually got this one right here to a legendary because of the buff increase. So originally we re-rolled this as a green, and because this is a legendary, we were actually able to go ahead, and because you can see we can only actually roll a green, what it does is it actually bumps it up and it pushes it to, if we go over here, a legendary. Even though on these smaller nodes, if you're re-rolling, you can only re-roll to get a UR prime. That's like the highest that you can re-roll. But if it is connected to a legendary master cubic, it will bump it up and by 2. So it will go from a prime all the way up past unique to the legendary. See, this is what is the highest right here. It will bump it up twice. If you have a unique master, it will only bump it up once. Kind of how you do it. It might seem a little complicated. I hope I explained it the best I could. You know, it is a little bit weird to understand how it works, but hopefully you kind of understand it. This one right here, I have as a unique. So I got my master one to a unique. So what it's doing is it's bumping all the ones that it's connected to. So these 3, they're getting increased by 1. So see this little icon right here? It's a arrow pointing up and it shows the number 1. That's letting you know that it's bumping up the rarity for those by 1. And then if you go to a legendary, you can see the little arrow icon right here pointing up with the number 2. That's letting you know that it's bumping these 2 nodes up by 2 rarities. So you can see right here, we got this to a UR. We got this to a UR. This is a legendary. That's kind of how you want to do it. That's kind of the special way that you want to go about doing this. Make sure you try and get these masters to like a unique or a legendary. Obviously legendary is best. And then you want to get the little nodes that are next to it to a UR prime, and then it'll actually bump it up to a legendary. So then you can have legendary little nodes right here with huge buffs. You can see that, I got a lot of stat increases from this. We got 10 extra attack percentage, 42% for HP, a lot of crazy numbers going on over here. If we take a look at this, we got extra 2% for our attack. For this one, we've got an extra 4%. These actually give you a huge buff to a lot of your stats if you do it this way, right? If you do it right and do it the way that I showed you, it will really tremendously increase your account and make your characters so much more stronger. That is it. I hope you guys and girls enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, comment down below. Hopefully I explained everything. Stay happy, stay safe. I'll see y'all later. Peace.